All right, thank you for staying with us. It's time now to take a look at stories making headlines on the front page of Nigerian newspapers. And I begin with the First News newspaper. The major story here says, COP28, Obi presidency trade words over 1,411 Nigerian delegates in Dubai. And the riders there says, Labour Party flag bearer accuses federal government of sponsoring relations friends, government officials, hangers-on, says Nigeria must stop waste by government. Nation, not all delegates are government-funded. Presidency is reacting or responding to that statement. Now, another story here, why I won't suspend Wike others, PDP chairman has said there has been calls for the suspension of the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike over what they have termed, a majority of them have termed anti-party activities. But now the PDP chairman is saying that he wouldn't suspend Wike others. Remember the G5 governors. Now to other stories, how Imo Monarch cop suspected killers were arrested. Police. How Imo Monarch cop suspected killers were arrested. The police is saying this. Jakba, we've interviewed more than 150,000 Nigerians, 30,000 students. U.S. Embassy is speaking with regards to the number of persons they have interviewed and the backlog that they intend to clear in the coming days. Now, Group 6 probe of Ondo Cabal alleges their potential medical coercion of Akere Dolu. Group 6 probe of Ondo Cabal alleges their potential medical coercion of Akere Dolu. NDLEA bossed Europe, Dubai bound drugs in jeans, dolls, buttons. How I dislodged Shekau Boko Haram from Niger State as Governor Aliyu saying this. To another story here, I won't benefit from federal government's restatement of Intel's contract. Atiku is saying Shuaibu thanks Obaseki on surprise birthday message. APC wins all chairmanship seats in Ekiti Council polls. VP's new resident dump Wike's plans, Serap urges Senate President. Another top corner PDP to Tinubu tell Nigerians how much was spent to sponsor delegates to COP28. This controversy has been on for some time now. And to the front page of the Business Day, Tinubu outsized COP28 delegation cost 880 million naira to fly. Many on delegation, Araido P2B is saying Presidency defends large delegation. And another story here, how celebrities fuel Nigeria's gambling epidemic. You want to read that story. Well, those are the much we can take on the front page of the Business Day. To the Daily Trust now. Outrage over Nigeria's 1,411 delegates to COP28 summit. Tinubu has turned the climate change conference to Owambe. Atiku is saying that it's a waste of resources, says Obi. It's outrageous, insensitive. CSOs are speaking. Government-funded contingents less than 100. Presidency is responding. PDP demands refund of Esther codes, asks National Assembly to investigate delegation. Now, another story here. FIRS grants waivers on tax penalties liabilities. This has come as music to the ears of some businesses ever since the story was brought to the fore. Now, NSCDC personnel brutalize a number of journalists, say media is Nigeria's problem. How so? Now, APC Plateau Speaker lock horns over swearing in of new lawmakers. Jakba, we've interviewed 180,000 Nigerians this year. U.S. Embassy speaking 3 months after, no clue on whereabouts of abducted Zamfara varsity students. All right, some of the stories you find on the front page of the Daily Trust. To the Vanguard now. Uproar over Nigeria's 1,411-man delegation to COP28. Federal government informed all COP28 delegates. Presidency has responded. Obi Labour Party blasts Tinubu say high delegation waste of taxpayers' money. PDP demands roll call, cost incurred by federal government delegates, asks the National Assembly to commence probe. UK commits £100 million to assist Nigeria. Others. Now, the National Assembly Committee to propose commence quick amendments to of a section sections of the Petroleum Industry Act. Ex-Niger Governor Aliyu knocks northern leaders for setting region backwards. Nigeria's economy begins major shift as oil sector rebounds. SGF to Nigerians keep faith, there is hope for Nigeria. And at the top corner, NJC names new 11 justices for Supreme Court this week. And I believe a majority of Nigerians are looking forward to those who will make that list. And to the front page of the Nature News right now, why Nigerians flawed COP28 climate summit in Dubai. SSA to President Tinubu is speaking. And the picture there is from COP28, and the president flanked by some other top members of his cabinet there. If you want details, you find that on the front page of Nature News. And some other stories here. Minister clarifies Tinubu's speaking slot at COP28. Fact check as the Earth's temperature dropped since 2020. That's a question. Why President Petro emphasizes fossil fuel non-proliferation treaty at COP28. Nigeria secures UAE ISDB partnership on humanitarian response at COP28. Governor Zulum applauds ACRE SAL project for post-insurgency recovery and economic growth. And some of the stories you find here on the front page of the Nature News. To the Nation newspaper. And Senate House ready to pass Budget 2024 before December the 31st. Senate House ready to pass Budget 2024 before December the 31st. FIRS waives penalties on outstanding tax liabilities. That you find that story at the top corner of the Nation newspaper. And 10 INEC directors out, and the council chiefs resume. And that's some of the stories you find on the front page of the Nation newspaper. To this Nigeria newspaper now. $700 billion mineral industry bleeding. Nigerians ask government to sanitize sector, dislodge illegal miners, encourage banks to give loans to investors. A palliative scandal rocks Kanu. Governor Yusuf orders police to take over warehouse. Top government officials arrested in connection with scandal. COP28, federal government refused sponsorship of 1,411 delegates to Dubai. BVN named sanction banks, not customers, expert urges CBN. Some stories you find on the front page of this Nigeria newspaper. To the national economy, 28 million housing deficit, 75% surge in building materials, cost compounds housing shortage as developers, homeowners struggle with abandoned projects. Kim.
Next is the Daily Independence newspaper. The big story there reads, weak Naira FX volatility may impede 2024 budget execution as analysts seek further widening of budget deficit. And of course, there is a writer reading about a worry over increase in cost of servicing external debts. On the Kano gubernatorial polls still, well, of course, we know the Supreme Court verdict is, pending. Northern lawyers won the president, Supreme Court as well, against what they call a one-party state. Experts say airlines exploiting travelers with high fares and worries loom that return tickets may hit 400,000 naira soon. Analysts also say southeast, south-south routes most hit and ask the Civil Aviation Authority to relax regulation on wet list aircraft. Also, UAE set to provide humanitarian response stations across Nigeria. You can check out the stories from the Daily Independent. And before us now is the Guardian newspaper. The big story there is talking about at least 60 refinery licenses inactive 18 years after fuel import thrives. And there is a breakdown detailing what the paper calls posers about intention to build despite receiving licenses. The Guardian says Nigeria has over 62 licenses issued to individuals for refinery projects in the last 18 years. and the total number of licenses as at May 2021 is 68, out of which 40 were found to be inactive. All right, other stories there. Kano uncovers diversion of palliatives, vows to punish culprits. Teachers hold Subeb bus hostage, disrupt aptitude test in Dutse. Failed road, female passenger dies, 2 injured in Lagos tanker accident. That's for The Guardian. The blueprint is giving us an expose, so to speak, on how it says how wet lease aircraft put Nigeria's aviation industry on edge. This is from an investigation carried out by the blueprint. It says that these wet lease aircraft, where the lessor provides aircraft and crew to the lessee, are simply accidents. These aircraft are accidents waiting to happen. The 5th World Media Summit is ongoing in China, and the host is urging fair reportage amid global instability, as well as threats to journalists' lives and fake news. Of course, stakeholders are there to talk about this. And then we see next the Punch on Japa, where professionals are living in their droves from Nigeria seeking greener pastures abroad. There's still concern on the health sector, set to be among the worst hit. Hospitals reduce outpatient surgeries as 4,000 doctors migrate. More than 1,100 Nigerian doctors moved to the UK since May, as 789 Kano nurses and 162 doctors quit. For the OAU Teaching Hospital, the psychiatric unit has been closed over lack of nurses and doctors, who also falls to 5% health budget. Ogunpoli students killed in fresh robbery attack. Akwa Ibom coppers in kidnappers' den 4 months after abduction. And anger as Lagos mechanic's car crushes mother and 2 children. Next is Voice of Liberty. Relief for taxpayers as FIRS approves full conditional waiver on outstanding liabilities. Of course, this is subject to the payment of a full principal before the end of the year. Alarm as Nigeria's refineries collapse by 92%. That's from the World Energy Report. Nigerians resort to herbal concoctions as medication prices soar by more than 300%. The Leadership newspaper is next. 400 billion naira state pension backlog threatens workers' retirement plan. Anambra, Benue, Delta, Ekiti, Osun default in pension remittances. That's the biggest story on the front page of the Nigerian Leadership. And the Tribune is next. DSS, EFCC, ICPC vet Supreme Court nominees. NJC unveils 11 judge list by Thursday this week. New heads of courts and judges to emerge. Right. COVID-19 investigation continues as the House of Reps Committee uncovers more infractions as health institutions make presentations. Experts worry as debt servicing gulp more money than infrastructure. Others in the budget for next year. The Abuja Inquirer says Wike terminates 85 billion naira affordable housing project, describes contract as ridiculous to review all housing agreements, and how kidnappers butchered Abuja schoolboy over non-payment of ransom. That's also included in the Abuja Inquirer, as well as JAM fixes April 19 to the 29th for next year's UTME. Finally is the Nigerian News Direct. Ekiti, local government polls, APC sweeps all 38 chairmanship and councillor seats. Serap condemns Wike's proposal to allocate 15 billion naira for the VP's residence, as well as 2.8 billion naira for publicity. All right, that's the much we can take.
Absolutely. So many stories on the papers this morning. COP28 dominating, opposition parties speaking with regards to the number of delegations, and the presidency responding and defending why those numbers are there and how it is that the government is not sponsoring all of those numbers.